Is your bulging disc going to heal on its own? I'm going to go through that in this video, but first, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. So, will this disc heal on its own? What is a bulging disc first and foremost? Okay, you've got the vertebra, top vertebra and bottom vertebra. And let's talk about the lower back for the time being. So we've got this nice little red bit which signifies your bulging disc. Now, it's very rare that it actually just pokes straight to the side. It normally pokes and hits one of these nerves, giving you those horrible sciatic type symptoms. But what is actually happening there? Now, the discs, they're supposed to be in a confined space between two vertebrae, and they resist that compressive load, okay? And in most cases that we see anyway, these bulging discs are not a one-off occurrence. You haven't been in a car crash and you've bulged a disc. You haven't had, a steel beam fall on your head and squash the disc. It's been a repetitive stress sort of injury that's caused that disc to bulge. And think of your discs like little water balloons. This is the best way to understand them. If you squash down on them, they go fat. And eventually the layers on the outside that are holding that fluid in the middle start to break down, and then you start to get a more profuse bulge. And the question, will that heal? You need to take a step back. Well, will you stop squashing the disc? That's the first thing you need to ask. Will it heal? Our body always heals. It'll heal in some way, shape or form. The same way rugby players may be able to relate to this. If you've broken a collarbone, the bone should be like that, it breaks like that, you didn't realize it was broken or you ignored it breaking, and it heals like that. And then it needs to be broken and reset. Your body will always heal. It'll always find a way to heal that damage and compensate and work around it in most, or the overwhelming majority of cases. And disc bulges are no different. Your body will start to lay down scar tissue around that bulged disc, and hopefully there's not a serious enough bulge that is constantly pressing on the nerve, causing any serious nerve damage. It's just a lot of pain in the short term or medium term. Then if it's managed badly, the long term. But the disc will heal itself, but there are things you can take to improve the quality of that healing, and that's what I'm going to talk about in this video here. Now, if you assume your disc bulge is just a little bit of bad luck, you're going to have a lot more bad luck going forward because you're not going to take accountability of the problem. A lot of times it's bad posture. Your lumbar spine should have a nice smooth curve, so we equally distribute the weight through the lumbar spine. Your muscles take some good load and it can absorb shock effectively. If you're doing that every day because you sit down and slouch in front of your desk, it's only a matter of time before this disc gets squashed, whilst being squashed consistently starts to fail and quote unquote bulge and gives you symptoms. So if you don't take accountability for that, you don't get the right advice around that and get made aware of that by your practitioner, you're not going to allow that disc to heal effectively. It will heal in sore, but it will not heal in a good, nice way because you've never taken the pressure off that disc in a more permanent manner. You can do that by changing your posture, changing your lifestyle, changing your habits, changing your work environment, changing your workout routine. All of these little things can have a massive impact on the quality of healing that takes place in and around that disc. And you have to remember, when you've got a slip disc injury, it's unlikely that it's just a disc. Okay? If you're stuck in that sort of position there, as I mentioned earlier, and you're squashing down on this disc here, you're also going to have some ligament instability and damages here because these ligaments should be back like that, nice and close together to one another in their resting position. And when they lean forwards like that, and that's the chronic position they're in, you get an element of instability here. So you need to address all of these things, not just the little disc that's being injured and giving you the majority of your symptoms. Because if you don't provide more stability to this part as well and the muscles around here, again, it's just going to come back and come back and come back, and you'll re-injure it. This is the reason when you were a small child, your parents probably told you stop picking that scab, it won't heal well. But it's the same thing with your disc. If you keep irritating it, keep putting more pressure through it, don't take the right steps to take pressure off it so it can heal nicely, you're going to end up with a nasty scab and a nasty scar in that region. Unfortunately, we don't see slip discs, so we can, as a patient suffering with one, actually relate to what exactly is happening in that tissue the same way you can on the surface of your skin. But try and pay attention to that next time you have one. And if you're watching this video, I'm pretty sure you probably do have a slip disc or someone that you know is, otherwise you wouldn't be still watching this about 3 or 4 minutes in to me rambling on about slip discs or bulging discs. So if you do have one, pay attention to that, let it heal as well as it can, and if you are suffering with it for a long period of time, then make sure you go and see someone who can properly advise you on all the factors that are preventing healing effectively so that they can correct those factors as best as possible, give you the right treatment at the time and the right support going forwards to make sure that you heal and stay healed and don't get it in the future. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you found it interesting. Now, if you want any more of our videos, then click here. We've got a nice one on our Back in Shape program. Up here, you can look at what some of our recently uploaded videos. And remember, click up the top above my head for the link to subscribe, and do that so you don't miss out on anything in the future.